Welcome back to Small British Steps. You find us, we're just finishing off well, it's not even a contract. We're actually trying to get some of the science for high altitude flight. And yeah, we are having trouble, shall we say, that the craft has stalled badly. We've got G problems. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. We're in a flat spin, I think. Come back. Oh, that was horrendous. Yeah, interesting start to an episode. So I thought I would just do a launch and get some science in between episodes. And I actually wasn't planning on showing anything from this. Actually, we did get a big chunk. We've got a big chunk of science on board. If I can actually bring it up, what have we got on board? We have we've got flying reports for random stuff there. We've got almost a credit worth of science on board. We actually took the craft up. We lost an engine at the very start. You can see there in bright red, literally on ignition. It was the top engine. We went up with three, went a really high arc. I think we were about 1,700 meters per second at about 71 kilometers. Flew on, and we actually turned off the two other side engines, had one cruise engine, and just pushed all the fuel out. So this thing is pretty much empty. And yeah, it started to move sideways. We had a bit of side slip on it, which does make me think we're going to have to modify the the uprated version of this, because I think we're going to need RCS, but we can figure that out. The interesting thing is, because we pancaked so badly on re-entry, now on re-entering the sort of thicker atmosphere, we've not got a heating problem, which I was actually concerned about. I was worried we were going to have a heating problem on this craft. The good thing is we're probably going to be able to land it. The bad thing is this is definitely the limit for this craft. We can probably send it up again, just because we can try and finish this science off. I think what we're going to end up having. Let's have a look. Actually, we'll have a peek on here. Filter by current craft, high altitude science on Earth. You can see that we have 0.8 left to get. So if we do a flight a bit like that again, grab 0.9 of it, we would be golden. We'd have it. We'd be doing brilliantly. We'd have all the science from flying high, over 650 meters per second. So that we would be happy with that, I think. We are risking crew every time we do it. However, we are extending their retirement ages, so maybe it's worth us doing it just for that and nothing else. I don't know if this flight, because it's non-mission, will actually do that, but we'll have a look. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to bring this thing into land finally. It's very twitchy. I don't know what's going on with this craft today. It is very twitchy. Have we changed some settings in between episodes? Is there something going on? Fly-by-wire's okay. It seems to be all right. It just seems to be really quite not normally itself, if I say anything. Yeah, it's really pulling on the G-force for some reason. Yeah, the G meter is flipping all over the place. That's not a good thing if we're about to launch a craft to do some stuff and things with Mach 2 flight. So I'm going to get this down, and then I shall see you back at the base. So we are back. You can see we have got up to 6.4 out of 7.2 for Earth flying high. So if we send that craft up once more, we might be okay. It's going to get recovered. I do need to do something though. We need to actually drop down probably about 10 of them and put them onto the Javelin, because I want to recondition it. And then we're going to do, when that's finished in 15 hours, which we'll do now, we're actually going to prep that launch pad for something else, because we're not going to be putting Javelins on it anymore. We're going to rename it. It's going to be the Javelin 2 launch complex, and we're going to redo it. I'm going to load up a craft that we've been working on, mainly because I think it's my heaviest craft. It has parts that we haven't used yet, but it's about its mass, or well, it's almost the heaviest craft that I've got. It's about parts, mass, and all sorts of things like that. We can do other upgrades in the future, but I want to see what the maximum is I need to go to. So for this, I need to, let's see, I want to take this, I want to do that. Actually, I don't want to do that. I want to just put 8 of them on. and we can put them anywhere. We're just doing it like this. Oh, go on. So we're just so this actual launch vehicle, hello, it does not want to play well today. There we go. This launch vehicle is actually designed to have a variable number of boosters on it, and so we can have up to 8. The Javelin 2 has a second stage. I'm not going to show you too much about it. In fact, you know, I'll just sneak it in for you. Just sneak it in. There you go. Look at that. Wee, look at that. That's not that interesting, is it? Right. So I think we need to, let's just check, is its width okay? Its width is okay. It's recalculated that. That's good. All right. I think that's good. So we need to go to the Javelin 2. We need to upgrade it. So that's going to upgrade the launch complex to support the current vessel, keeping existing support where possible. And then we've got perform a large reconstruction of the launch complex to best support the current vessel. So we're going to go to upgrade. We're going to take it to I'm going to take it to 100. That allows us to go down to there. What's the mass of this thing? It's close to that. Let's take it to 102, 103. You know what, make it a 100-ton pad with a little bit of give. I would like it to be a little, that's okay, yeah. I think that's okay. Do we want it human rated? It's going to take us 80 days. If we're going to do the human rating, it's worth us doing it now. Or do we build a second pad that's going to be human rated? It is going to cost us a lot to do this. We are going to use this rocket for. We're probably going to use this rocket for the initial human launches. So probably be a good idea to human rate it. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea, isn't it? I think it's going to be a human rated pad, although we could. Can you just can you add a pad? I mean, I think you can, can't you? I'd have to look up that. Or I could renovate it for the human rated one. You know what? Cancel that for a second. New launch complex. Human rated, right, so that's going to take 215 days. Human rating it increases its price by what? 30,000. Okay. So if we cancel that, if we upgrade this, if we human rate this, it adds 28,000. We are doing stuff to it. Maybe we hold off on human rating because I've got a feeling it's going to cost us a bit more, I think. So take this down to a 5. Do we have anything that's going to be less than 80 tons? That's the thing we've got to check. So let's just let's think about this. How do I do this? Don't save. I'm going to have to do that again. Puck 1 Javelin. That would be our next smallest, wouldn't it? We're going to be using these. So Puck 1 would be the smallest, or Puck 2 could be. Go Puck 1. What's Puck 1's mass? So Puck 1 is going to be our 1-ton satellite, but it's only on the basic form of this, and it's got no other kick stages. I don't think. It's 80, so we're okay up at 80. Okay, so open up the other one again. I'm going to go back to Puck 4. There we go. Yeah, you can see I've pre-built some craft because we've now got parts available, and because you can choose things like your avionics settings and stuff like that for different levels. You can actually see this actually requires avionics and orbital rocketry to launch it. Because of that, it means you can actually have a bit of a plan. You can actually look at what your pads are going to be capable of, and I know that this booster, the big thing is it's about having the fuel that I need actually more than anything else. So I'm going to take this, we're going to stick these on here. Thank you. We're going to have a look at this. Right. So we know 80 is going to be our bottom limit. So we're going to upgrade. We want to keep 80 available. I don't want to go that close. There we go. That's better. Height is okay. We might, if we end up human rating it, which we probably won't. Maybe we should just human rate it because we're gonna have a bit of a cadence. Although, saying that, I will probably want to build a separate launch complex for human rockets, because I'm going to be using potentially this for moon missions, things like that, ideally, or we might take them off this, put on a bigger rocket. So that's yeah, there's a lot of moving parts going on here. Resources, do I need anything extra? A lot of HTP. Do we need anything extra? Are we going to use a bit of hydrazine, possibly? I did look at using hydrazine at one point. Let's put, how much is 500 units of hydrazine going to cost me? Not much. How much is 1,000 going to cost me? That's not going to add much on at all. I'm going to put them on there just in case, because it's a nice monoprop that we might use, and I think that's it. Don't think we want anything else, because we'll either use hydrazine or HTP. When hydrazine becomes available, that will be the one that I use. So I think that's going to be it. We're going to renovate that as is. Let's see, maximum height is okay, width is fine, tonnage is good. We can go up to 106. That will involve me having to redo the launch here to get a bit of mass on it, but we can live with that. That's a tiny fiddle. I think that is going to be okay. So we will renovate it. Yeah, I think so. There we go. All engineers that have been reassigned, remember to reassign them when they finish the renovations. Okay, we do not currently have a launch complex for stuff. Right. Let's go and see what the next step is. Right, so we're showing up as having staff that aren't doing anything. We can move those over to the hangar, because stuff and things, they will always help. Because we've got that, we've got Kármán R2 is going to be 80 days. Orbital rocketry is going to happen then. We're going to have that. Then we're going to start building stuff. We have Javelin. Is that going to, can we slow that down? Oh, we could. Does that now? Here's a question. Are we paying for that while it's open? We're not. So this is a nice way of just saving a couple of pennies. I mean, we don't need to. We've got a load of money right now. But if you were wanting to, the easy way to do this would be to have a look at this and go, let's have a look at the dates. When are we going to be ready for actually doing it? So as soon as avionics is done, so 29th of the 4th 58, 29th of the 4th 58, go to construction, 29th of the 4th 58, 29th of the 4th 58, there we go, put it about there. Good stuff. We can't research any faster. We've got nothing going to add to our research, I think, at the moment, so that is as good as we're going to get. Combined there, it's going to spread out those payments, but more importantly, it means we're not going to be paying for that complex until it's finished, so we don't have to put maintenance costs into it. Right, so that's good. So that's going to come first, then that's going to come literally 3 days later. We're going to have that finished, start on that, and then we can look at entry, descent, and landing projects. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Maybe we'll do some design work in the rest of this episode. I don't know, but I think we're probably just going to rush forward now. We do have to do our Mach 2 flight, so I think we'll probably do that now. And let's get this recovery done first. It's going to take a day, because I'm thinking we might do some modifications to the Kármán R1 for its final flight, or we might just do what it's just done. Yeah, we're just going to do that. So I'm going to redo it and let it do its repair work and so forth. And yeah, then I'll get to the Derwent. So when you next meet me, the Derwent should be flying. So we are on our way. We're just about to start the engines up and get this thing going. There we go. Engines are go. So we are aiming for Mach 2 sustained flight, which will be the first time we've done it with a, well, I suppose we have done it with this before by accident, but no, we've not completed the mission with it. Right, so we're going to bring this up. We're going to bring up the cruise control. We're going to go for, let's see, we want to be about 6:30. Make it 6:35. And we want to be at about 13,000. Okay, do that. We'll switch to that. There we go. There we are. Right. So this thing, we'll knock speed control off first. We're going to get up in altitude and then we'll knock it onto max attack. So there we go. Get this thing up there, please. All the way up. It should actually just fire itself up to the right speed once it gets there, hopefully. So 13, we might want to take it to 14 actually. 14 might be better. 14 might be better than 13. There we go. Right, get yourself up there. Now it should be able to get to the required speed, I'm hoping. Right, we seem to be about right. That's good. Right, let's get our speed going. Good stuff. Don't want to overcook it, do we? There we are. We've got a bit of an angle to keep ourselves up, I suppose, as we speed up. And then we're going to just rock this forward. Have we got our thing on it? We're not at the required speed yet to do that. We'll pop this up so we can see it when it happens. Right. This will be the, I think it's the second that we've got. So we collected 3.3, so it'll be second. So we need one more flight out of this. And then this plane will basically be done, I think. Unless there's some voluntary flights after this, which I'm not sure about. There might be some. We've got to keep our eyes on the heat here. This is going to be the problem. We're going to hope that it's going to be okay. We don't want to have to go higher. We might actually have to go higher. What's it going to go? We're going to go 635. That heat on those engines is annoying. Are we staying above the required speed? We are, just. Right, can we do it if we do it this fast? It is okay. It's not resetting the time, is it? No, it's not. Right. So about 14 kilometers up is probably okay for us. It'd be nice if we didn't have to do that. I suppose we're keeping the heat down because we're not thrusting the engines permanently. I'd love to know what the Machs on these were. I am tempted when we do our final ever flight, although we'll probably run out of fuel actually thinking about it, to actually see what its max is. Right, we've got 2 more minutes. You've got to hold this speed for a long time, haven't you? It's like 5 minutes or something. We've still got 20 minutes of runtime on these, so it shows you've got 20 minutes of fuel, 20 minutes of runtime. That fuel is not accurate, I can tell you that now, because we know that will run out when this sort of runs out. In fact, you can see it's going down quicker, isn't it? Alright, got 1 minute left on that. What we will do is I'm going to drop this down to, when we finish this, we'll drop it down to, what do I need to be over? 600. So we'll drop it down to 6 or 610 or something as soon as we can. Right, put it onto normal speed. There we are. And I think the task is finished. That is that one done. Right, we're going to quickly grab that, take that to 10. There we go. It's going to just do that nice and free. It's going to spill down a bit. It's going to overdo it. Is it going to overshoot too far? Probably. No, it's going to hold it. Okay. That's alright. Okay. Right, now we can just rock on a bit until we get all of this sample used up. We've got 1.6. We've got a lot to burn still. This takes a while, doesn't it? So what I will do is I'll get to the end of this and then I will jump back just as we're finishing it. Right, we are just about to finish off on what we need to for this, and you can see the cockpit is yet again glowing bright red. We've got 10 grams to go, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're going to go to normal speed now, and then we're going to turn off speed control and turn it off. That's the one. Oof. We started to accelerate quite a bit then. Right, we're going to actually shut the engines off as well. Shut down. Right. We're going to put this back onto normal fly-by-wire. There we go. It's going to hold us stable. So we've completed that task. We've got a third of the science there, so 3.3 science on board. What's that going to do for our science? Actually, it's going to take us to almost 10. It's going to be over 9, which I think might give us something to do. I'm not sure. We'll have to have a look. Right, I think that gives lunar communications, I think, is either 8 or 10. And I don't know if I've actually chosen those yet. We do need to get them, though. Right. This thing now needs to get down without overheating. And I think we should be okay with that. It's basically just going to kill its speed off at the moment. It's going to just glide down. I think if we hold it in this sort of regime, about like that, let it just glide down. And see what happens. Yeah, there we go. It's dropped out of the worry zone. Well done, Elise. Elsie. I'm never going to get the name right. I'm never going to get her name right. It's just, you're going to end up standing on the moon or something because it's the name I can't remember. Right, I'm going to land this thing. You've seen that before. You don't need to worry too much about it. We're going to arm the parachutes already because we're actually at a slow speed. And I shall join you back at the Space Center. Well, looks like we lost both engines this time. So we got back. We're up with a big extra chunk of science there. So get that done. Elsie Gray is going to be away for about a week, and then she can come back and train, and she's going to have to do the X-15 training course actually, because I think we're going to end up flying the X-15 basically every week to try and get some science that we need. Right, we have completed that contract, which now means, oh, we got high supersonic, and this thing, okay, we could fly that. That is an option. No rocket engines, has to be a jet. So that gives that craft one more series of 12 contracts, of which 0 have been completed. Okay. So what you tell me is there's a lot of opportunity to get stuff there. Okay. I'm not massively a fan of it because I think our engines will explode if we go any faster, and you've got to do it for 3 minutes. This is the one we're aiming for, isn't it? So I think we'll probably take it actually, just so it's done, so I don't forget. This scientific satellite one we probably want to take as well. We're going to get some access to new leaders, but we don't really use leaders at the moment, so yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? I think I am going to take that because that is the next launch that we're going to do is going to be a rocket doing that. Which you know what, we could take this as well, couldn't we? Take that as well. Although it stops me getting that if I really want to. Right, we might as well take that because can we do? I think we can do 650. I think it's going to be an interesting one. I think we can do 650. The engines might be on the point of exploding, but they exploded when we landed anyway, so that's fine. We're going to rush those back. We're going to fix that craft. It won't be getting fixed until probably the Krummak R2 is actually being worked on, so we'll fix that now. Yeah. Both engines completely ripped off, so we'll have to load it up again. Don't save. We want the M2. Load that, and there we go. All sorted. This is set up. Everything is waiting. Let's just check. I want to check the science actually options. So let's have a look. So Mach 2 flight. Well, that's going to be one more run on it, isn't it? Let's actually just go through the crew science. So let's go all the way back to so supersonic flight, we're done. Good stuff. Mach 2 flight, a little bit more needs done. One more flight of it. High altitude flight is almost done. Need a little bit more. Just we're at 0.9%, so that's almost done. And then we've got hypersonic flight. Nothing's done. Okay, so if we get this craft to finish the Mach 2, then we're pretty much happy about that, because that will be that done. It's whether we think it can actually sustain. I think it can sustain 700 at 12k. I don't know if it can do it for 3 minutes. That would be the problem. There is no limit on that contract. Is there a negative? Possibly. Is it worth the risk, or do we just get the science and leave it? Well, we'll think about it. So this is going to take 66 days to fix because we've got to put 2 new engines on it. So we'll save those edits. It looks like, and this might change, but X-15 cockpit training takes about 15 days to do. So we've got 15 days for the crew to basically do that. We're going to have another 15 days when they've finished it, having a rest and relaxation. So each crew member can only fly once every month. We can probably get the X-15 ready probably twice a month. So we are going to need multiple crew available to it. So we're going to have to ration them out. It depends how fast we want to do stuff, basically, but we have the opportunity to get some science from it. It is going to cost us money, though. So, yeah. How are we doing for the science situation? Can we get... we can get lunar range. Good. That's nice. I like that. I shall have that. Thank you very much. And that then means entry, descent, and landing, and all this stuff is going to be next. So we're going to need this. So we're going to need 15. Do we need something? Oh, we're going to need a lot, aren't we? We're going to need Crew survivability, what's that give us? That gives us, oh, that just gives us fuel things. So we're going to need 28. And then we're going to need another 15, so 30, 43, is that right? 50, 58. 58. Going to need 58 science. That, I think, is possible. That's just to get the basic capsule. I suppose we do get a heat shield, we get mercury heat shields with it. That's that with some early flight control. And then we then have to get all the way to docking. That's going to be annoying, isn't it? Because we do have to do that for crewed missions, our docking missions. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. Whether we launch two crafts and then dock them together or something, I don't know. I don't know if you can even do that anymore. Right. Next step. I think I'm going to go back onto my usual setting of not using days. There we go. I think we're going to rush forward to finishing that in 77 days. We're going to have loads of stuff. In fact, you know what? Do we want to start getting this ready? I think I want to prepare that now. If we get rid of that, if we have still got this one held, can I then take another thing? Because this is a twoer. That's a threeer. So what have I got that's going to be two? Lunar probes. So that's orbiter, impactor, flyby. It's only two. It's a nice next step actually. And then crewed is 3, which would take over from that. So if, when this is completed, if I don't have to complete it to then get the next one done, that's what I'll do. But I have a feeling I'm going to have to actually click on this and complete it, which is going to be annoying. But again, we're going to probably be about here or here when we finish it. We're going to lose 2 years worth of funds, which is a lot of money, but the next ones are bigger. So Lunar is going to be chunkier. Not brilliantly though, it's only 4 years as well, which I'm fine with. And then crewed is huge. I mean, crewed is huge. This is, less than $1 million. What are we getting for this one? Total of this was about the same actually, but over more years. Okay. And then we can also we could chuck in comms network or targeted stuff, or geo we can't fit. And then we've got early and out of planet stuff as well. And that's a good chunk of funds that you get at the front. And you get what, 7 years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years to do all of that. I'd actually be tempted to take that one on slow and just have it cook in the background actually. Give yourself 10.5 years and just give up those slots for that for a little bit. But you do have to complete the early lunar probes. Right, so that's going to be a lockout. And then crewed lunar. You got a crewed orbital's got to be completed, and then any either crewed program, uncrewed lunar, or complete crewed surface exploration. Where's that? Where's surface exploration? Uncrewed surface exploration. Oh, lunar landers, lunar orbiter and mapper, and far side lunar lander. Oh, that's quite cool actually. That's quite nice. I like that, and it gives you a bit of money for it. So that's your landing opportunities. Okay. So we sort of know where we're going. Are we going to get to that? I don't think this space program is going to land on the moon, mainly because I don't have the engines for it. I don't have anything that really throttles enough. We do have Spectres that throttle though, and we could knock them off. So potentially we could do a landing. It's just going to be horrendous. It would be horrendous to actually try and manage, I think. But if we get that far, we could have a go. We could have a go. Right. Next step, we're going to rush through. We're going to get the Chromic R2 up and running, and we'll give it a little test flight, I think. That's the plan. Anyway, Stan. And actually, I'm just thinking, I wonder if we're going to run out of training on that. Right. One thing I will notice is, if I bring up our alarms, we have actually got an alarm for return to duty for Elsie Gray, because she needs to do training for the X-15 cockpit. So we're going to rush forward. That's going to trigger, and then she can go do a training, which will be quite good. So hurry up. Thank you very much. You know what? Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Go faster. There we go. Right. So she should be back now. So if we go over to here, we go to our astronauts. We can see training, X-15 proficiency. You need it. That's going to take you 130 days. Oh dear, looks like you're probably not going to be flying the craft. You're going to be late getting to it. Training on missions. Let's get you. You're inactive for now. You come back in January, do you? Completes January oh, you've got another day. So we're going to put you on. Start your training. That's going to take 15 days. Okay. Right. Let's rush forward. So orbital rocketry is done. Now we just got to wait for the avionics and the Javelin pad to be ready. One thing I want to check actually. Oh, I can't because it's being built. Oh no, it's in construction. No, it's being built, so I can't do it. Right. We're going to go forward, get the X-15 mission status ready. We can get rid of the timer. Okay, that's done. So we've now got a crew member ready for that. We're going to rush forward again. 40 days. We're getting a lot of cash build up, are we? We're getting enough. We're getting enough. What's our finances actually look like? Yeah, we're getting a lot, but we are going to spend a lot of this very soon, I think, as well. So that's not a problem. We might build some big launch complexes. I might even put the crewed one together. Just preempt it. Would be a good idea to have one that's crewed actually ready. Anyway, so let's see. We are ready there. We're going to prep it for launch, for air launch. The Chromac R2 is going to take 2 days. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to train up somebody else. So training mission. We're going to have Roy do that. In fact, you could both do it, but I think you are ready to fly, aren't you? Start training. And then I want to have a look at you. You are mission training expires 31st of March. We got a couple of months. Good stuff. Right. Okie doke. We're going to mount you. And then I think the end of this episode is going to be us testing it. So let's check we've got the mission accepted. High altitude, 80. We don't need to do anything else. No, we're not doing that one, are we? So here we are on the pad. Although it's not on the pad, but we're going to get our fly-by-wire on. That's been playing up recently, so this could be an interesting launch. Right. Let's see. Are we ready? Is it going to start doing stuff and things? We are go. Fire the engines. We have full ignition. Right. And I think we are ready to climb a bit. It's sluggish. That's okay. I don't mind that. Our thruster weight is good. Its control is not great. Come on. Come on. We do have a lot of weight up at the front here that I need to be aware of. We need to get this thing up. We might need to throttle back a bit, actually. Okay, so our aim is let me just check. Our aim is 80 kilometers, is it? Yeah, 80 kilometers is the aim. We have got that ready for recording, so that's going to record if we get fast enough. We need to get over 1.5 kilometers per second, which is pretty extreme. We're at an apoapsis of 30. We're still going. Come on, come on, get us up there. Get us up there. Apoapsis of 40. We are motoring. Right, I'm going to pull up a bit more. There we go. Right. Apoapsis of 50. We're going to throttle back a bit. Apoapsis of 65. Apoapsis of 70. I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to throttle up and cut the externals. Yeah, I am. Right, we're on one engine now. One engine glide. Speed is gonna we're not gonna get to the required speed, I don't think, until we're pretty much flat. And I'm gonna put us flat. There we go. Right, that's as flat as we're gonna go. So we aren't gonna get to the super mega speed because we are only on a single engine. But I want to see how this thing flies, and I want to have a bit of control over it. And that's not going to happen if I don't have an engine. Right, I wish these were relightable, and I do think we're going to need RCS. Whoa, that was a random, just all of a sudden. Oh, it's because we've got over a certain height, maybe. We might actually get over the required thing. The burn time on this engine is going to be extreme. It's probably going to kill itself at some point. We're over 80 kilometers. That is done. Crude altitude record is sorted. We've done over that for the X-Planes contract. We've got a new thing here, so that's eight units of stuff and things. Right, we are now going well. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to pull this back, and we're going to just let it burn really slowly. We don't need to gain too much speed. I wonder how long we can actually keep this at this speed, thinking about it. We're going to be at 88 kilometers. It doesn't say how long it's going to be until we get to that, so we're just going to speed this up a bit. We are going to gain speed on this. There is a lot of energy in this craft, so I think this thing could go Kármán line. I think. I don't think we need to worry about that. I wonder if I can tip it up a bit, give it a bit of up thrust. Is that a possibility? No, we're coming back down in the atmosphere. It's re-exerted control the atmospheric autopilot. There's obviously a boundary at about 70 something where it starts to act a bit differently. Right. Well, in that case, I think full thrust and give me gimbal control. In fact, you know what? No, cut it. We're going to dump fuel. Dump the fuel. Dump. Dump all of the fuel. Dump the kerosene, dump the HTP. There we go. It stayed pretty stable even at 80, so that's good. We have now moved the fuel around, so I think the craft should be reasonably balanced. I'm not sure where we're going to come down though. We are coming down with a bit of a glide slope though. We are at 40, so now we are no longer collecting. We got a chunk of data anyway. Right, we are hot. Yeah, this is where the wings explode, isn't it? Right, can we get a bit of... How is the cockpit so hot? Seriously? This is supposed to be okay for re-entry. That is the cockpit, isn't it? Yeah, the cockpit's alright, okay. Are we skip gliding? We might actually be. No, we're just going to do that, okay. Coming with a little bit of belly facing it, okay, I like that. Yeah, this would be wonderful for speed records. We're going back up. Okay. Yeah, we're converting a lot of that into downrange. I don't even know where we are. I'm assuming. Yeah, look, the base is back over there. We've gone well past it. In the past, we've been having trouble getting anywhere. So this thing is much more capable just by having. I don't think it needs the middle engine actually. We could probably just run with 4 and run it longer. Might be better. Given its sort of maneuverability, but we'll run it with 4. What I might do, I might fire the 4, and then what we could do is fire the 1 and cut off the 4 when we need it, or vice versa. We could throttle down and up. It gives me a bit more playability with it. Maybe that's an idea that we may want to play around with. I think that's probably not a bad idea actually. Right. We probably want to go down a bit. In fact, you know what? We're gonna try and do a standard maneuver. We're gonna do this. We're gonna kill ourselves a bit of speed. Right. Okay. Now, what's the betting this thing explodes when it hits the ground? Yeah. So, what's the other contract we've got? 2,000 meters per second, because we went over 2,000 meters per second. We've got a big chunk of stuff. That's good. We've dropped back below the 1,000 mark, haven't we? So we're still gaining funds, but not as much as I would like. Science isn't great. We are going to get a little bit of science. I'm not sure how much actually. You could probably actually look in here. What have we got on board? We got 0.9. That's going to take us up to 2.8. Okay. So we're on our way to the next node of science that we need. It will not be a plane one because I'm going to stop planes. This is going to be our last plane unless we decide to try and we might do a series based on planes, but I'm not sure the programs are really fleshed out for rocket planes and stuff at the moment. In particular, you sort of get stuck as to what you want to do at the start, so you end up having to if I did planes, the British ones are very hard to do. Let me just put it like that. I think I'd have to give myself an extra science point just to allow myself to get the first stage of engines or something, because otherwise it's exceedingly difficult. It might be interesting to do though, but you end up grinding. You grind so much in the way of stuff and things. Unless we did something like, we could, and there's a thought, we could do something like blue steel missiles or something like that. A blue steel missile, which was then going to be adapted into a rocket plane. If we used something like that and used that for our sort of initial launchy things, or we use that in parallel with the planes, that could be quite interesting actually, because that could go higher, although you've still got the re-entry problem, I suppose. Although, yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult. Crew limit you quite a lot early on because you don't have the tech for it. Right, we're going to come through the clouds, and then I think we're going to pop this down. I'm going to speed this up, and then this will be the end of this episode. I think we've seen the new hotness go. It's broken the limit. We can have a look at the very end to see the contract, and it should be the last contract we need to complete. I think we'll check. It should be the last contract of this set that we need to complete. Right, and it should be Kármán line, I think, and I think this thing will be okay for Kármán line. So that's going to be a big positive for us. Right, we're going to do that. We're going to level out. I am pretty much ready now to fire off the parachutes. In fact, I am going to do a bit of that, just to kill a bit of stuff off. In fact, you know what, we're going to do the horrible one. Do a bit of that. Just do a bit of that. That's the horrible thing to do, isn't it? Just to really annoy people. There we go, look at that. And then parachutes away. And vertical speed's got to be negative. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's got a jitter. It's got a jitter. Point me downwards. There we go. Parachutes a go-go. Superb. Right. This thing should fall out of the sky now in a controlled manner. I'm assuming this nose is... Actually, you know what I didn't check? Just how... I don't think that's a perfect fit, is it? I think we could have done better. It is very... Probably we've got quite a horrendous... Yeah, I think that's got a curve to it that we have not accounted for. Or we could set this forward a bit so it matches. It feels as though it matches, is what I'm thinking. But there's a lip here and it doesn't seem to sit properly on it. So we'll live with it. I don't like it. This, I think, is heavier than it should be. Its rating is only slightly heavier than the other one, but I think it is a lot heavier than the other cockpit. I think it's having a significant effect on this. Right, possibly because it's got all this stuff in it. It's got a lot of like lithium and all this storage inside it. We could strip that out because the oxygen, for example, we could half that. We could half the amount of oxygen, half the amount of lithium hydroxide, and get rid of all the other tanks and lighten it up, which would be potentially what we're doing if I would be doing a perfect run, shall we say. We'd really strip it to the bone. Anyway, let's have a look. This is going to crash down, not crash down, it's going to land gently. I'm more interested about whether the engines explode, because having to replace the engines on this every time is not something that I really want to do. We'll do that. Ooh, it comes down hard, and hey, it doesn't break. Wonderful. Right, so here we are. We have got Claire Wood is, let's see, she's away for a while. She's had an extension of 23 days. She's gone on holiday for 30 days, so it's not really helping us. We got a chunk of science there, well, almost 1 unit of science. Okay, she's done well. We can recover that in 7 days. We have got a mission complete. That is, X-Plane's high altitude has completed. That means if we're looking here, now we have Kármán line. We've also got high altitude optional. What's this one going to be for? Current reward is 66%. Okay, because of what? What is it? Series of 4, which you've done 3. Oh, this is the 90. Oh, so we'll do this one then, because we might as well. We'll do this one, then we'll do the Kármán. Because this one's fixed. We get 25 applicants. Ooh, they can go into the building system, can't they? Let's have a look. Contract. The X-Plane suborbital contract will become available. How exciting! Is this not? So is the Kármán line not the actual final one? Hold on a second. X-Planes Kármán line. So why is there now a contract after that? Is that like an optional contract to do after this to get a bonus? Okay, why is it not listed here? Okay, we've chosen to do this fast. I forgot. Because it's all fast now. Middle is always fast. I forgot. Right. It would be nice if there was like a breakup maybe of these. So maybe, you know what would be really nice if X-Planes Research had this stuff and then this stuff separate, and then like suborbital rocket planes doing stuff in suborbit, I don't know, and then something else, I don't know. So it would be nice to see another set of contracts there, and I should really sit down and try and write them. I've never really looked at contracts and writing them. It would be something I'd really be interested in doing, because it would be, so it's quite logical. I quite like logical things. Anyway, I think that is us done for the day. So from me, next time we're going to go for probably Kármán line, and probably going to launch our final sort of satellite for this one, so we could potentially finish 2 programs in 1 episode. Whether we actually choose to close them or not is an entirely another matter. I think this one, it's got a year left in it, and then it's done. It's not earning us as much as it could. So from me, until next time, have a great one. So if that was good for you, check out on the screen right now some links. You can see other videos you might like. Check out the channel, see if there's any playlists you like. There's also some links to other content creators there you might like, or leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, do all those things.